Welcome everyone, it's Gray Shirt Guy, Rock the Gray Shirt as always. It is early Sunday morning, it is the 5th, and we are going to go into doing a weekly update. And it's been about 2 weeks since I last finished the last update. We finally finished the Tallarn. So in the last videos that we posted, we were doing a 7-day challenge to try to build and paint, and we got to tabletop standard, but I wanted to get it all the way to done. And so where I would consider done is basically you get your base coats, plus some washes and some dry brushing and a little bit of weathering, which for me is where I wanted this army to be. And we got this army there pretty well. I've done armies that are a little bit more detailed than this, and the Sisters of Battle army that I have planned to eventually finish is a lot more detailed and takes a lot more time per model. And so this one, I wanted something I could just get done and get through quickly, and I wanted it to look all right. And so I think it looks pretty good. And so, yeah, then we're going to talk about what we're going to go into and what we're going to do next. So let's get into it. So we got an overview, big panoramic shot. And so the list, the way I run this army right now is two of the infantry squad, or two of the infantry lasgun guys in each squad. They get removed, set off to the side, and each squad takes the missile launcher. Now, if I organize the army slightly differently, points-wise, I'm not exactly sure what I would have to do. I might have to take away some accessories and some options. But there is a way to make the army where it's a heavy weapon team with 3 missile launchers and then just 3 full infantry squads of 10. And but I would have to reorg it, because right now it's in a battalion organization, and the battalion organization has only 3 heavy weapon slots. And so I could probably do it in a Vanguard, and it might work out pretty fine. But a Vanguard's a minimum of 5, and so I would have to kind of reorganize it a little bit. Probably put 2 of the Basilisk in their own and 1 Basilisk by himself. But either way, I could still do it. It'd still be a way to make a Vanguard detachment work with all of the models on the field. But as of right now, it's just a battalion attachment, and so 2 of those models aren't 6 of those infantry models aren't currently being used. So that's just kind of how I have the loadout. But I could probably switch it around into where everything on the table could be used, which I might end up doing. But just for like command point sake, and then just trying to like keep it all even. But let's go into a little higher detail. You may have seen this on some of the previous videos, but we'll just go into it anyways. All right, we have our 2 tank commanders. They have demolisher cannons, multi-melt sponsons, and heavy bolters, and they have the heavy stubber. I went with a more of a blonde haircut on that one, and a little darker black haircut on that one. On the little, it's a little model from Victoria Miniatures that I got free for spending over $50. Whew. Trying to breathe, allergy season. If any of you guys got allergies, you can put them in the comments below. Plus, I got cats, and so I'm just still adjusting to them. I've only had them for a couple weeks. But let's get into it. And then we have one of our Basilisk battalions back here. They have heavy flamers because that's the only thing that comes in the kit. But I was planning on running with heavy bolters because they're free and just saying, hey, these are heavy bolters. Or maybe just seeing how they work with the flamers. All right, then we got our Manticore buddy here. The second Basilisk. I don't actually know which one was the last one I finished, but these, I don't want to do a Basilisk or any sort of Chimera chassis for a minute. Not that I'm saying I won't do Guard for my next fully painted project, but there are so many rivets on this tank, and it's a lot. And yeah, I did very little second highlighting or first order highlighting. As you can see, my cat has pushed open the door. that's the young one. But yeah, I did very little additional highlighting colors. I think because the camo really kind of lends itself to not really being overly heavily highlighted. I did do an overall brush of, I think it's Ushapti Bone on the tracks and everything to get a sandy appearance. Once again, we have our Chimeras, and this is the one where I did this one with AK Interactive's enamel washes, just because I was curious to see how they'd work. And it looks really good, but on some of them, because the primer layer was kind of borked, I didn't really want to continue using it for the primer layer. And my cat's over here. So I kept going with the GW acrylic washes, and the way it looks a little bit more cartoony, I guess would be the word I'd use. But I could see doing an entire army with this AK Interactives wash. Hey, get down. She's trying to climb on top of the computer. No dice. Don't meow at me. All right, let's look. So we got these infantry squads. You've already seen these in previous videos, but a quick recap. I did highlighting on the sergeants, and this is the all-female squad from, what do they call it? Victoria Miniatures? I don't know why I took a brain dump on that. It's early morning. So all these infantry models are from Victoria Miniatures. If I had the original Tallarn models, I would have used them, but I don't. And so we went with the Victoria Miniature models, and they look really good. I like the female models, and it's funny, the female models don't have a bayonet option, but aside from that, they're really easy to put together. I kind of wish I would have just went with 3 of these, and then just, had the male missile launchers, but these probably would have saved me a lot of time if I had went with just 3 female models, because these collectively took quite it took a whole day to do all of the infantry, but it would have been a lot faster had I just used the female models. And then we have the blue squad here, and we have our company commander right here. She's in purple. Her model, although female, was all resin, so a lot of these had some 3D printed parts. This one was a little bit more annoying to kind of build together. And then we have our red squad, and I think this might be the final picture. No, maybe not. So yeah, I'm not 100% sure. So we got a red squad, and I like them. I think it's pretty cool. I actually like the design of the bolt gun on the sergeant, because I gave each one of the sergeants a power sword and a bolt gun, and they have a plasma gun in the squad, and then they have a missile launcher. But I actually really like the bolt gun option. The power sword is actually from a Catachan. I had one Catachan arm left over, because most of the swords are actually on the other side of the arm. So, but I think it looks pretty good. Yeah, actually, if we go back, this is a Mark IV normal power sword, and this is you can't see it in this angle, unfortunately, but he has the Victoria Miniatures power sword, because power swords on theirs are all on the right side, and I wanted the gun and the sword, so I couldn't put the gun and the sword in the same arm, but I think they look pretty good. So let's go on to the lists. So this is, let's see, yeah, this is the current list that I run them in a battalion, but as I said, I probably could do a Vanguard, maybe take away some 100 killer missiles or something just to kind of like swap them around, because a 3-man missile launcher team is 50 points, and so I might be able to squeeze them in here, but I'm not 100% sure if I would be able to. I'd probably have to get rid of something significant. Maybe, let's see, all the heavy stuffers maybe, and I don't know if it'd be really worth it. But we've got 2 tank commanders, we got the 3 infantry squads, we have the platoon commander, we have 6 basilisks and 2 separate loadouts, and then we have a manticore, and we have 3 chimeras. One little thing on the manticore is I do know the manticore is a superior model. Let me zoom in. The manticore is a superior model, sort of. So I did some fire test, and in one round of shooting, my basilisk and my manticore together were able to take out 1.5. What do they call those? Valkyries. They were able to have 1.5 Valkyries, because I kind of pitted them against the Catachans that I have, and they did pretty good. I feel like they could have done better. The basilisk has a higher strength weapon, but the manticore can do more damage per shot. It does have more shots if you roll really well. Now, they're both blast, and they're both indirect fire, which is really good. And so that's one of the things I liked about this army, is indirect fire and blast. And realistically, I should have, and I was thinking about doing this, is swapping out the missile launchers in the team for mortars, because I think mortars would kind of lend itself towards that indirect fire idea. And so if you think having some mortars in the infantry squads would work a little better, let me know, because that's one of the things I was thinking about buying, is just as a way to kind of sweeten out the army and expand it a little bit, is to kind of go on with that indirect fire theme. I do plan on getting 2 more manticores. Now, the 2 manticores I plan on getting aren't going to be for, they're not going to be painted for the Tallarn. I'm actually looking at a couple other armies, like my Praetorian Guard or my my Valhallans, or maybe the Valhallans or Vestroyans, or somewhere around there. Probably the Valhallans, actually. And seeing if I can squeeze and move some points around on the list that I have already built. Because I don't want to, like... I have models, and I don't want to get rid of the models I have. And I want to kind of see if I can, like, tweak and just move some points around to see if I can actually squeeze in a Manticore. Because I only had 50 points. And so I want to get 2 more Manticores, but I want to squeeze them into existing armies that I have and paint them a little different. So if I were to ever play a huge Apocalypse game and I wanted to take 3 Manticores in the same army, they would be from different regiments. I think it would look pretty cool. And so I already have 3 other Basilisks. I made a modification where I cut the barrel and I made them into Medusas. Now, the only way you could run them now is to have them as armored Medusa carriages, or the one that can't move. And so I'd have to a little bit of proxying to use the Medusa, but I have an option to take the Medusa cannon out and put in the regular Earthshaker cannon. But those are in my those are from Acadians, so those 3 will be painted mostly green for the Acadians. And yeah, let's move it on. So that's the first. This is the current option in which I was going to play them as. But I was thinking to myself, why is this not moving? Hold on. What is going on with my list clicker? Nope, not that one. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right. Little technical difficulties. Now this one is actually 3 points less. Still same 2 tank commanders. This one didn't have the upgrade, but the upgrade's 3 points. I could put the upgrade back on there. It was the Warlord. The Warlord had like the Korvzov Sequilla or something. I just didn't click on it, so don't worry about that. It would still have some upgrades. And then this case we have 3 infantry squad. Not 3. We have 6. So we took out the Chimeras. We gave ourselves some more infantry squads with the one heavy weapon team. And mostly just because if I order 3 more infantry squads of Victoria Miniatures, I could get 3 free missile launcher guys. And I was thinking about also just ordering 6 of the mortar cannons, so if you order the mortar cannons, I would also order the crews that go with the mortar cannons. And I think I would just need to order 2 crew and 2 sets of mortar cannons, and I think that would give me 6 mortar cannons. But I think that would look pretty cool, and I would stick with the indirect fire theme. And then we had the Minotaur Priest with the chainsword. I just have a Minotaur Priest model, so I think that'd be kind of cool. We'd kind of stick them in with the infantry squad. The platoon commander would stay the same, and still the Basilisks and the Manticores. And so this, for me, this is a real gun line. With, the other list has more mobility. This is if I just wanted to sit back, form a gun line, and just launch shells, and then just, that's my strategy, is just launch indirect fire the whole time. Not a game-winning strategy, not the best strategy, of course, but I think it'd be kind of funny to have, like, just nothing but, like, indirect fire launching over and over. And I wish there was a few more stratagems that, like, heavily focus on indirect fire. But, maybe we'll come out in a new edition or something. But yeah, this is currently what I'm working on. These are some options for some things I might buy in the future. And other than that, what am I doing right now? This morning, we got, as you can see, you got the clippers over there. I got, let's see. One second. Click. Okay. Yeah. So we got the Fallen. So we have 2 more. I'm working on my Mark III Space Marines for my Fallen, and I've got 1 more squad of the Chaos Space Marines for that army. And so I have 29 more infantry models left to assemble, and once I'm assembled, the Fallen are fully assembled. After the Fallen are fully assembled, I don't exactly know what my next one is. I might go on to the Praetorian Guard or the Tau. I'm not exactly sure, but I have some trees that I started to assemble. And to me, the trees are something that are something as like a palette cleanser, or if I'm just tired of doing some specific one task, I'll build up a tree. And so we got some trees, but I do want to go and prime some terrain. So I got some black spray paint and some other color spray paints, and so I'm gonna go prime some terrain here in a little bit while it's still relatively cool in the morning. And so that's what I'm gonna go do. I'm gonna go prime one of those MDF terrains that I got from Frontline. I'm going to go prime one of those and then see if we can make it all gray. Stop meowing at me. And yeah, my cat's, she wants me to play with her. So I will see you guys later and have a good one. Goodbye.